May I recognize Igwe inkosi yethu. Londlunkulu ayethameni phela and all the leaders lana bazalwane lonke enkosini. Amen. Ake recognize izindlalifa zonke zombuso kaNkulunkulu. Amen phela. Ake sizitshayele izandla phela. Amen. Yazi bakhona abanama-titles kodwa nasokuthiwa abantwana bakaNkulunkulu siyangena sonke. Amen phela. Ngoba nase sinale ama-title abangasekho balibonga igama lenkosi. Pastor Face, ngicela ukuvulele Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 12 and 14, verse 12 to 14, sorry. I know we are teachers I want to make a summary for the book of Ecclesiastes. Amen. Mind you, as a teachers, I will come out the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 12 to 14.
Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 12 to 14. I, the teacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem. I devoted myself to study and explore by wisdom all that is done under heaven. What a heavy burden God has laid on men. Verse 14. I have seen all the things that are done under the sun. All of them are meaningless, a chasing after the wind.
Amen. The author Solomon, the son of David, he writes, all is meaningless. All is meaningless, and the chasing after the wind. Amen. Sengizenzela laba ababhalayo ngiphila i-title ngathi meaningless, meaningless. All is meaningless and chasing after the wind. Ake sitsho njalo sonke basala.
Meaningless, meaningless.
All is meaningless and chasing after the wind.
Baba othandekayo, siyabonga uNkulunkulu wethu. uNkulunkulu omuhle, uyinkosi, uyikho wonke Nkosi. Izwi lakho silifundiwe Baba. Izwi lakho liyaphila. Izwi lakho liyadala. Yasiqondisa endleleni. Yakhuleka Nkosi. Njengoba uMose wayiphakamisa inyoka ehlane, lami ngiyakuphakamisa njengenkosi nomsindisi. Uzozabhekana kuwe aphile ngegama lenkosi yethu uJesu. Amen. The author says, all is meaningless and chasing after the wind. If you read other versions, they say, all is vanity and the chasing after the wind. Message Bible, all is useless and chasing after the wind. Amen.
Amen.
Solomon wrote this book after he had seen situations. He was studying. He says, I applied wisdom and looked at things, how things happen. And I looked at them And I said, all is useless. Amen. And the chasing after the wind. It says, I've seen fools and wise people all die. Amen. Solomon. You know, I've seen something in life. Some people work so hard. When we have worked so hard and we die, and you don't enjoy the fruits of your labor. You go to the university, have all the knowledge which is required, and die without working. When I first preached, I preached in a funeral where these people were preparing a wedding. 3 days before that wedding took place, the bride-to-be, who is the bridegroom? Bridegroom, is it the man? Bridegroom. The bridegroom was stabbed to death. Before 3 days, preparing for the wedding. I've never preached in a service where you could touch sadness. People were so sad, and you could feel it. Even if you walk in, you feel the heaviness of heart. Amen. Just imagine, 3 days before wedding. How would you feel, ladies? Your partner dies just 3 days before a wedding. Meaningless. Meaningless. All is meaningless. And the chasing after the wind. Solomon says, I've devoted my heart to pleasure. I tested everything which is nice. I had servants who will sing for me. I will drink wine, the best wine. And after all this, I said, pleasure is meaningless and chasing after the wind. Amen. We are living in a terrible generation where everybody is drinking. The generation which we have now, if you are not drinking, if ungazawuthi kancane wine uthi kancane unganisithuthanyana angithi bazalwane bami unganilesaba le ndaba awungafuzi wayini abakuzwisisa ukuthi kanti wena uenjoya kanjani ungamphuzi. Are you telling me that when you drink you enjoy? No. I differ. Alcohol, statistics shows that it is the worst enemy of our society. A lot of accidents happen because of alcohol. Alcohol and drugs destroy our youth today. Alas, our youth are no longer working today. Most of them, someone now is working. This is a school-going age. Or somebody should be at work. All of them have a teleman. Imagine like they are such as. I want to know what they are. Or physically fit, begging for money. It is a curse. I get to Nigeria, but in Nigerians, it's a taboo. Chineke. It's a taboo. A school going age. Somebody who is physically fit who cannot work, who cannot go to school. It's so painful. I'm so afraid that we won't have good leaders tomorrow. If the church don't take a stand, if the church doesn't correct this, all our youth will perish in drugs. Kubuhlungu bazalwane bami ukubona abantu abethu sibangcwaba before. Actually, it is a curse to bury our children. Abantu abethu kumele bangcwabe thina. Akunjalo bazalwane bami. It's a curse which is ngcwaba abantu abethu. Most of them, they are addicted to drugs. They are addicted to these days, and I was making a research with that. They are saying those things are very dangerous to our health. Meaningless. Meaningless. All is meaningless. And the chasing of the wind. Solomon says, delight, O young man, do everything which pleases you. Do everything which you see pleases you. But know, at the end, all of us shall come before the mighty God. We will be judged because of what we have done. We will be judged because of the things which we are doing. Solomon says, I have seen something, an error under the earth. To see princes and princesses walking on foot and see slaves riding on horses. Does it make sense? A slave riding a horse, but a prince and a princess walking barefooted. And Solomon says, I have seen that the mighty don't win battles. Those who are physically fit, they don't win war. Amen. But God gives strength to his people. Meaningless, all is meaningless, and the chasing after the wind. He continues to write in the last chapter 12, the last verses. That is where I am concluding. Chapter 12, the last two verses.
Chapter 12, verse 18, it reads, now all has been heard. Here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of a man. Verse 14. For God will bring every deed into judgment, including every hidden thing, whether it is good or evil.
Let us hear the conclusion of the matter. Fear God, keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Amen. This is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the duty of man. We cannot please God if we can't fear him. As Solomon writer says, the fear of the Lord, it is the beginning of wisdom. When you fear God, that's where wisdom starts to in your life. But if you don't fear God, you will commit things which are taboo in the society, things which are very bad, extremely unwanted in the society. But if you fear God, wisdom has come to you. Amen. Asikhulume ngokujoyina ichurch bazalwane. Asikhulume ngokuthi lesaba abafundisi bethu. Even if apostle engekho, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Emsebenzini wakho, if you have opportunity, ukuthi usize ngemandla nani abikhona, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Amen. Wherever you go, you are not afraid of people. You are not afraid of your parents. Actually, you don't care what people say, but you fear God. All this is the duty of man, to keep his commandments. For God will bring all things unto judgment. All things, whether good or bad, will come before God. Even if you are preaching, even if you are singing, even if you are ministering, all things will come before God. Whatever you do, do it for the Lord. Whether you are dancing, whether you are eating, whether you are sleeping, do it for the mighty God. Because all of us will come before God. John writes in Revelations, when we are in the island of Patmos, that he saw everybody, abakhulu labancane, standing before the mighty throne. And the books were opened to check whether you were written in the book of the Lamb. If your name was not written in the book of the Lamb, you are cast into the lake of fire. Hell is reality, bazalwane. Ivangeli lakulezi nsuku sikhuluma ngokuthi nasingakhuluma ngokuthi into zakho zibe right. Uthawu bafuna uNkulunkulu alibusise bazalwane sibe lemalene. I'm not condemning that gospel, but I think we're moving away from the gospel. It is not about getting married or buying a new house or working in a nice job. It is about serving God. Amen. It is about serving God in your environment, whether at school, whether in your family, whether at the workplace. You must know that there is somebody who is watching over you 24/7. Amen. We can deceive people, but God sees the heart of man. Before even you commit something, God knows your heart. Amen. You remember Ananias and Sapphira when they gave in the house of the Lord. They decided to take a certain portion for themselves. What happened to them? They were struck dead. Amen. Whether we are serving here at the pulpit, know that the Lord is looking after you. Whether we are preaching, whether we are ministering, take it seriously. Give it time to pray. Come to the Lord. Because all of us will come to judgment. Our thoughts will be tested. God knows our attitudes. God knows our giving. God knows our actions. God can see beyond what people can see. Amen. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Ukumesaba uNkulunkulu kuyikuqala kokuhlakanipha. Malibonge igama lenkosi. Makabonge osithandayo. Angazi ngizwa abathandekayo bami. Lingabambi bonke engikhulumileyo libambe this one point. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Ukumesaba uNkulunkulu kuyikuqala kokuhlakanipha. Konke okwenzayo sikwenzela uThixo. Konke sikwenzayo uNkulunkulu uyabona. Konke sikwenzayo, our movement, God can see us. Fear God. This is the duty of all men. You can deceive people, but God can see you. What we do in our secret places, what we do at our private places, God sees them. Amen. It doesn't matter. The apostle didn't see you. People didn't see you, but God can see you. Bezwakala abathandekayo bami. Ake sithi amen phela. Amen phela. uNkulunkulu uyabona. Ubona lo sokucatshileyo. He can see even our thoughts, our attitude. Before we even commit a sin, God can see you. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. I would like to pray for our youth. I would like to pray for everyone. I would like to pray this prayer and say, let the fear of the Lord be in us. Whatever I do, let it be motivated by the fear of the Lord. As one of us to stand us.
Ungazifihle